Well, the reason Babar Azam is there is because of the court and bowl to Viv Kingma. I have to say, looking at the replay, I was satisfied he did have control of the ball, Kingma, but I'm not sure it was necessarily the smartest thing to do to dispose of it as quickly as he did. I know in the 2020 internationals against New Zealand, Shariz Ahmed, well, it was given out, a catch that he took, but again, he didn't have it perhaps fully under control. Let's have a look at it in real time.
Yeah, I'll have it, Tommy. Up on that wicket.
Yeah, I mean, he's in control of it. Didn't even see it. I think it was Glenn Phillips, actually.
Babar off the mark. There is Shariz Ahmed out at... so that's Musa, his brother, out at deep mid-wicket. Shariz, of course, not playing today.
Kingma would be looking for a very similar ball here to Imam. With a little bit of hope, having got the Centurion from game one out. That really rose off back of a length, that wicket delivery.
Another wicket. Logan van Beek at point. 2 wickets in the over. Another failure for Imam. Good catch from Van Beek, because that was hit hard. It was hit straight at him, and Pakistan are 11 for 2.
Loose drive from Imam ul Haq. Pitched up by Kingma. He's been better this over. He's put the ball in a position where he can get wickets early. Full, half-committed drive and a great catch from Van Beek. Standing quite close there at point. Important wicket for the Dutch. Both openers gone in the 3rd over. Imam, second failure of the tour. He goes for 6. Pakistan now 11 for 2.
सर्विस टायर्स की क्वालिटी पूरी दुनिया ने मानी। 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक में एक्सपोर्ट होने वाला पाकिस्तान's #1 एक्सपोर्ट टायर ब्रांड है सर्विस।
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इंप्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गई है ना?
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग। तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान।
Mohammad Rizwan in at number 4. Certainly in comparison to his Test and 2020 international records, his ODI career quite modest, but as you can see, he just needs 4 runs there to reach 1,000 in one-day international cricket. Viv Kingma, a great effort from him. 2 wickets in this over, disposing of both openers. And perhaps power to add. He's got a couple of right-handers to bowl at now, which he'll be happy about. Stock delivery away from the right-hander. So we've only got that floating slip, though. Scott Edwards not choosing to reinforce the catching cordon behind the wicket. Two wickets and a run off that 4th over of the innings. Pakistan 11 for 2.
तमाम बैंक इस्लामी कस्टमर्स हासिल करें फ्री चेकबुक, पे ऑर्डर्स, ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग और इंटरबैंक फंड्स ट्रांसफर की सहूलत। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के। तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे, गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
जी सर, सर्विस टायर्स चाहिए, ये ले लें, आपके पैसे बचेंगे।
जिंदगी बचाना ज्यादा जरूरी है। सर्विस कहाँ है? सर्विस ये तो ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी, तो फिक्र कैसी?
But they only got 186. They're in the game at the moment, though. response to those 2 wickets going down. We've got a change of bowling down at the airport end. 2 rather ineffectual overs from Alian Dutt, the off-spinner, and he's been replaced by Logan van Beek.
Yeah, positive option here, taken by Scott Edwards. Get your banking bowler into the attack. Logan van Beek. Dutch leading seamer. Most experience. He can nip one of these 2 out here. The Dutch got a right royal chance.
When he squares up, Babar Azam. Good start from Van Beek. Let's have a look at the 2 wickets.
Yep, first one back of the length and just rose. Came quite comfortably in his follow through, be able to pick him up. Absolutely delighted with that one. Even more delighted with the second one. Loose drive by Imam outside off stump. Nicely caught there by Logan van Beek. And it just gives the Dutch just an inkling of a chance here in these first 10 overs. We saw it wasn't easy in the first 10 overs of the first innings. Will it be likewise in the second?
A lovely shot from Baba. Harried by Nidamanuru. And that's going to take just a single.
Excellent backing up there by Musa Ahmed, who's on the field at the moment. They're at backward point. Got to the ball very quickly, and Azam looking for 2. Couldn't quite get back because Musa let the ball go so quickly. So the Dutch feel like they're in this right now. They've got to believe, they've got to save every run if they're going to have any chance of competing in this fixture.
We noticed in the last over that Musa Ahmed was on the field. He's on for Tim Kringle. He just held in the surface and popped up. It would be a disaster if there was anything wrong with Tim Pringle, because the way this pitch is offering assistance to spin. Good work in the end from Baz de Leyder.
Very strong zone there for Mohammad Rizwan. Getting that sort of hip to waist high. He loves it. Nice and straight. Gets his hands through the ball so quickly. Quite well covered in the end by Baz de Leyder down there at fine leg. Not often you find him at fine leg. Generally you'll see him in those hot zones, but hiding away down at fine leg on this occasion.
Playing a miss and good carry. Gosh, that really flew through to Scott Edwards, that delivery from Van Beek.
134 kilometres an hour. Van Beek really bending his back here for the team. Dutch need him to find that extra breakthrough. They need to go 3 down if they'd have any chance here.
Well, Van Beek went a little wider of the crease there, and Babar Azam's response is to pump him down the ground for 4. Lovely way to end the over from a Pakistan perspective. Babar's first boundary, 17 for 2.
सर्विस टायर्स की क्वालिटी पूरी दुनिया ने मानी। 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक में एक्सपोर्ट होने वाला पाकिस्तान's #1 एक्सपोर्ट टायर ब्रांड सर्विस।
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रांग। तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान?
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इम्प्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
Chips and mayonnaise. Lunch for that gentleman there.
That's center.
Kingmar's found his length there. A little bit fuller than what he was in that first initial over. Sort of short of a length, not quite being able to bring the batter forward. Since getting that wicket, he's felt more comfortable to pitch that ball up, get that ball top of the stump high, forcing the batter to come forward, play the ball. Again, this pitch has been a little bit variable in terms of some of these balls have shot through high, some have just stayed down just a touch.
The balance of this Dutch side, a lot more responsibility on Vivian Kingma.
There's that wicket ball first up. We've just seen him force the batter a little bit more forward. Excellent zones from Kingma here. The headband warrior.
And he's having to operate a little bit wider of the crease because of that foothold. It's not doing him any harm at the moment.
Not seeing a lot of lateral movement, so positioning on the crease will be important today. Coming a bit wider on the crease, can't afford to get too straight. It's just free runs for the Pakistan batter, so needs to be able to hold his line from that wider on the crease position.
Balance of this Dutch side. Three frontline seamers, including Baz de Leyder. You can see there the way his ankle twisted as it hit the edge of that foothold. That's the issue for fast bowlers, and that's why they were trying to just chamfer that, the edge of that hole down, level it out. End of the over, 6 gone, 17 for 2.
फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के तू टेंशन ले ले, गर्मी भगा, ठंड स्प्राइट।
इरादा फौलाद जैसा और जज्बा चट्टान जैसा, हम कदर करते हैं तेरे इस जुनून की। Proudly made in Pakistan, Squad Performance Body Spray। तो फिर देर किस बात की? Join the squad.
Pakistan are 17 for 2 at the moment.
Take a glove to Vicky and we're away, boys. Only going to get worse out here. Now, boys. Down here, low. Down here, low. Okay.
Still no sign out on the field of Tim Pringle. That's good to see. Looks as though he's going to be coming onto the ground soon. I think he's been off the ground because he was struck while he was batting during his brief time at the crease. Pulled off the front foot by Babar Azam. That's how much time he's got to play shots like that. And even with the slow outfield, that still makes it to the boundary rope.
Excellent shot by Babar Azam. Standing tall. Again, great contact point. Not quite high enough from Logan van Beek. Tried to surprise him with the short ball, but this wicket is definitely slowing down, so the bat has more than enough time to get in positions at this sort of stage of the game.
It's a good sign that Pringle's getting ready to come back onto the ground. That's why he's been off, because of that Yorker that he got right on the toe.
Van Beek got his tail up here, operating around that 84-mile-an-hour mark. Don't normally see him up that high. He's clearly keyed up for this contest. He's in the low 120s. In game one here, he's above 130 kilometres an hour so far in this cell.
Man Musa Ahmed completes the fielding. 6 runs off the over, 23 for 2.
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रांग तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इंप्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के. बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे.
It's special inside.
The good news is that Tim Pringle is now on the field. He's at short fine leg. On the up from Rizwan. And again, even though the outfield is slow, I think that's going to go for 4, is it? No. Good work from Basta Leda. Goodness me, he really is a box of tricks with everything that he does.
3-tool player indeed, Brian.
Yes,
lightning in the outfield.
Check, please, for this delivery.
Fielding in there at cover today. Any other field on the Dutch side wouldn't have got there.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's runs.
Did he stop the boundary though? Had the ball been released from his hand? I think he's just right. Too much width there from Kingma. He's got to be on straight lines like he was in the previous over. That maiden was excellent. Got to keep attacking that middle and off stump.
It's more like it. Babar Azam just a little bit inconvenienced by that delivery. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Love that, boys. Now, Pippi, can you get us a run out, man? Come, Pippi.
Viv Kingma seems to have been the coming man for Dutch cricket for a long, long time now. Made his debut back in 2014 in a World Cup qualifier in New Zealand. Always seems to be the first man to miss out from the squad whenever any of the county players come back. He's always had to question his own place in the side. He's never been a banker.
Yeah, it's difficult for Vivian. He's got one really strong tool, which is his bowling. He's an improving fielder, but again, he's never going to field in those hotspot positions, and his batting is, you know, he is blind in one eye, so he does only have the one eye to really look out of, so he performs extremely well for a man that has limited vision out of his second eye.
Yes, I remember as a young player, it was always the question of, well, he doesn't seem to catch very well, he doesn't seem to bat very well. And the truth of the matter was that they discovered that he had very, very poor eyesight. And as soon as they discovered that and gave him some glasses, he very quickly made improvements. It's a lovely shot. Wasn't a half volley. But Babar Azam, so clever at finding the gaps.
High quality batting. Again, that contact point is just straight under his eyes for Babar Azam. Maybe a touch wide from Vivian Kingma if we're being tough, and this is international cricket. Any slight variation on width or length, these world-class players will absolutely make you pay.
And there'll be 4 more. Just stands up and slaps it through wide mid-on. That was brutal. 11 off the over, 34 for 2.
इरादा फौलाद जैसा और जज्बा चट्टान जैसा हम कदर करते हैं तेरे इस जुनून की proudly made in Pakistan squad performance body spray तो फिर देर किस बात की join the squad
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले बन जाए एक डिलिशियस बॉन्ड बिस्कॉनी चॉकलेट चिप कुकीज मोर चिप्स इन एवरी बाइट
जी सर सर्विस टैक्स चाहिए ये ले लें आपके पैसे बचेंगे
जिंदगी बचाना ज्यादा जरूरी है सर्विस कहाँ है सर्विस ही तो ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी
And again, this wicket has slowed down enough. Babar Azam has so much time to be able to sit up and hit that ball in front of his arm.
Tim Pringle, he can bowl straight away, I think, being off the field because it was an external blow rather than an internal injury. And he's bowling to Mohammad Rizwan, who's now passed 1,000 one-day international runs, or reached that mark anyway. The 42nd player for Pakistan to achieve that.
Pringle's going to have to be on today for the Dutch if they're going to have any chance. Slightly short and slightly wide on Tuesday. Wasn't consistent enough by his own standards, having spoken to him after the game.
And he's short there and wide, and Babar Azam takes advantage. Again, so adept at finding the gaps. There was a backward point and a square cover, and Babar bisected them perfectly.
Pitching outside off and spinning further away. It's not the line he needs to be bowling at this stage. Got to bring those stumps into play. Look at how well Mohammad Nawaz bowled earlier in the afternoon. Got to be pitching that ball on the stumps.
They've also got to be taking wickets, the Netherlands here. And it's interesting to see that Pringle started off. Yes, he's bowling in the power play, but no slip in position.
Better delivery there from Pringle. The last two have been a little bit straighter and forced the batter to come forward and defend off the line of the stumps. Completely agreed though, Brian. You've got to have a slip in. Surely you've seen the turn from earlier in the afternoon. Rizwan, only 5 off 12. Surely you get a slip in.
Lovely, Maxi.
End of the over, 9 gone, Pakistan 40 for 2.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इंप्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग। तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान।
Following those final 2 boundaries, Vivian Kingmar's over at the pavilion. We're going to see a change. Man who made 89 earlier in the afternoon. Staleda comes to the crease. And alongside me, Noel O'Brien.
Yeah, lovely innings today. Baz Staleda played superbly well for a career best. Wicket taker, golden arm they call him. In the air, very well controlled. Really, really was, because it had bounced a little bit more than the captain Babar expected. He just rode the bounce and found the gap.
Yep, tad short, tad wide. Nicely watched onto the bat. 3rd man up in the ring with a deep cover out. Flashes away. And another boundary. Bubba now with 6 boundaries to his name in his 29 runs.
Change up straight away. Baz Staleda into his action. Pace on and pace off. Just 65 mph. Really has impressed me. Baz Staleda with bat in hand, and I thought he bowled superbly well on Tuesday. Just started to show that consistency with ball in hand. And the willow. Top class, young all-rounder. Love to see an all-rounder doing his thing with bat and ball. A lot of work to be done here for the Netherlands. Nice wrist. Should be a couple at least. After a decent start with the ball, Netherlands, they're just chasing their tails a little bit. Experience of Babar showing all the nous that's required after losing a couple early. A wonderful bat, one of the best. In a run chase, very calm at the crease, never looks under any kind of pressure.
Back of a length cross seam from Staleda. Just staying down a little bit. We'll look at that shiny side. Instead of hitting the seam, that will have just hit the shiny side and just stayed a little bit low. So a little bit of aerial bull bounce here for the Ducks to work with.
Oh, what a shot. Brilliant. Viv Kingma. Excellent with the ball now. Diving around like a football goalkeeper. Power play done and dusted. 49 for 2.
बोनस तो मिल गया पर टायर घिस गए। सर्विस टायर्स लगवाओ। ये चलते हैं आम टायर के मुकाबले में 40% तक ज्यादा। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
तमाम बैंक इस्लामी कस्टमर्स हासिल करें फ्री चेकबुक, पे ऑर्डर्स, ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग और इंटरबैंक फंड्स ट्रांसफर की सहूलत। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले, बन जाए एक डिलिशियस बॉन्ड। बिस्कॉनी चॉकलेट चिप कुकी, मोर चिप्स इन एवरी बाइट।
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना?
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग। तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान।
Ryan Campbell alongside. Campbell, great to see you, mate. First and foremost, how are you feeling?
Mate, I feel great. Thanks for having me up here. Look, facts are, Pakistan here in the Netherlands, we've had the West Indies, we've had England, we've had so much good stuff this summer. It's been a privilege to watch. A bit weird watching it from the other side of the boundary. It's been great.
Tickety-boo?
Yeah, 100%. It's, look, again, all I can say is, you know, for anyone listening out there, make sure you get your regular checkups and stuff. It's, you know, for me, I was fit as a fiddle. Boom, something happens, I wake up 7 days later, and thankfully I'm still here. But a lot of people have contacted me and said, I went and checked, and now I found something. So if anything good of it has come of it, hopefully we've saved a couple of people just by making a bit more aware.
Well, that is good to hear. It's good to see you in good spirits. And I'm sure you've been living every single ball this summer. We've been keeping an eye on you. We've got a cameraman who's been keeping an eye. You've been in the stand, you've been in hospitality, but now back in the trenches?
Yeah, back in the trenches. Let me tell you, watching the cricket in hospitality is a lot more fun. A lot less stress, although I reckon I still got times. But, yeah, look, it's a different way to watch the game. Of course, it's fantastic. To be back in a dressing room with all the boys. You know, we've been together through a lot, and you know, obviously they went through a lot with my circumstances as well. So, mate, I reckon I appreciate a lot of things nowadays a lot better. So you see me smiling a lot more, that's for sure.
On it. Yeah, it's nice to see an Australian smiling from time to time.
Well, we generally keep winning the cricket, so that's all right, isn't it?
What about the Netherlands? You know, it's been a brilliant summer, lots of great cricket, some really good performances, not quite getting over the line. Oh, pumped away, full toss. Got to use the facilities. Met on the full, good shot from Rizwan. Another over, ticks by, 54 for 2.
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग। तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान।
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इंप्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
सर्विस टायर्स की क्वालिटी पूरी दुनिया ने मानी। 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक में एक्सपोर्ट होने वाला पाकिस्तान नंबर 1 एक्सपोर्ट टायर ब्रांड सर्विस।
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले, बन जाए एक डिलिशियस बॉन्ड। Biscotti chocolate chip cookie. More chips in every bite.
To continue. Oh, that's lovely. Deft touch. Pretty good power play. Plenty of action going on. There was Fakhr Zaman, who played so well. Game 1 was out early. Cricket's a wonderful game. 100 and the hero one game, and then Viv Kingman, the man who dropped him in that first game, gets the wicket, and then Imam ul Haq squirting one square at the point. And since then, though, Babar Azam has been just gone about his business in his usual way. Very assured, putting the ball where there's no fielders. There's a lesson in it for all batters.
Yeah, he just makes it look so simple, doesn't he? Simple technique, wonderful to watch. It's one of those ones I actually was saying to a mate. We obviously want to get Bubba out 3 times early, but the cricketer nerd of me wanted to also watch him bat, so that's a bit hard. But, mate, like you mentioned, we've had a wonderful summer, and yes, people will say, oh, the results didn't go our way, but we were in positions to win games, and unfortunately that's the inexperience of a young team. You know, just remembering too that, you know, people who may not be aware, we've got 5 or 6 of our best players not playing. Like, they're in county cricket, they're not released and stuff, so that's made it a little bit tougher as well. But the actual experience of seeing these guys go up against the best, how do they go about it? What do? They watch, they learn, hopefully they pick up a few things, and then suddenly you see a Buster Later going well on the big stage, a Vikram Singh going well on the big stage, you know. So we keep finding them and we keep putting the work into it, and hopefully you know, we've seen now that there's lots more T20 franchises come, suddenly Bustelator gets picked up and, you know, Freddie Klassen gets picked up, these sort of things. So, you know, that's great for Dutch cricket. And, you know, hopefully there's a lot more out there for these guys remembering, and a bit like Ireland now, because of Brexit, they can't play county cricket very often, or at all, depending on their status. So, you know, we have to make them into international cricketers on our own, basically.
Bustelator is certainly one that is relishing a bit more responsibility. So we go back to England at Amstelveen. There was a great video at the back. Adil Rashid. The game was going on. Salt was smashing it. Joss Butler was smashing it. Everyone was smashing, truth be told.
Come on.
Adil Rashid was at the back working with a couple of your leggies. And that's what it's all about, the learning experience.
Mate, unbelievable. We, you know, we were lucky enough when we were in Qatar. Rashid Khan came up to our young leggies after the game and spent ages with them. Then, of course, Adil Rashid did that sort of stuff. So that's the experience we can't buy off a shelf.
55 for 2.
इरादा फौलाद जैसा और जज्बा चट्टान जैसा हम कदर करते हैं तेरे इस जुनून की proudly made in Pakistan squad performance body spray तो फिर देर किस बात की join the squad
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले बन जाए एक डिलीशियस बॉन्ड द स्कॉनी चॉकलेट चिप कुकी मोर चिप्स इन एवरी बाइट
जी सर सर्विस टायर्स चाहिए ये ले लें आपके
Like it.
It's always tempting. You kept through the great man Shane Warne's era, and Stuart McGill was in his shadows almost. You see a leg spinner, you're so keen, you've got to play the leg spinner. How difficult is it when you've got a young leg spinner, because you need a patient captain and I guess even more patient coach?
100%. You have to look after them. You know, I think we spend a lot of time as well with Philip Boussavein, and we still have high hopes for Philippe when he gets it right. He's a real, you know, weapon in your side. And again, I'm a bit Aussie. I want 3 fast bowlers and I want a leg spinner. That's the easy way to go about cricket. But yet you do have to, especially in the modern game. And again, now it's starting to sound old. But, you know, T20, 50 over cricket, the batters have taken it to another level. So how much do you want to expose a young leg spinner? When do you want to expose a young leg spinner?
On it!
You know, I think Scott, once he's taken over, and Peter before him, you know, Scott in Zimbabwe particularly bowled Cherise at exactly the right moment, with exactly the right fields and stuff. And that's crucial to any young leggy. You need a captain who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but as you say, white ball cricket now, almost your go-to. You want a left armour and you want a wrist spinner.
Yeah, and especially, you know, these mystery spinners as well. It's not always traditional leg spin nowadays. And someone like a Tim Pringle, again, mate, he's 19 years of age. You know, he's learning his craft as he goes. And you must remember, for people watching, we do not have a first-class system here. So they go from club cricket, playing on a mat sometimes, and suddenly they get selected for the Netherlands, and they're playing international cricket, and they're learning on the go, so to speak. The old on-the-job training is, you know, it's a tough learning curve for them.
It is tough, but it's sometimes the best place to learn, as long as you can accept and learn quickly. Pringle to close out.
Like it, Bup. Like it, yeah.
Being milked at the moment. 13 done. 60 for 2.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इंप्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
बोनस तो मिल गया और टायर घिस गए।
सर्विस टायर्स लगवाओ, ये चलते हैं आम टायर के मुकाबले में 40% तक ज्यादा। ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी।
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग। तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान।
फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा। दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के। तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे। गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
Don't tempt him.
No slip and play for the leader. Hard not to look too far down the line. I know you got another game coming up in a few days' time, but that T20 World Cup, how big was that tournament in Zimbabwe to qualify first and foremost?
Yeah.
And after the UAE, I know you won't mind me saying it was a disappointing tournament for yourself and the team. How important is Australia to do well at?
Oh, it's a great opportunity for us to get back into where we should have been. We know we were disappointing in the UAE. You know, there was a few circumstances, I guess, leading in that we hadn't probably played enough cricket together. And that sounds weird, but, you know, when you have 7 guys playing county cricket and you can't get them, to just iron out the kinks probably wasn't quite all right. So the lads are, you know, they want to go back on the big stage and make sure that they get redemption, so to speak. So the boys, what I will say, the summer of cricket that we've had got them in such good headspace and playing well together. That's another beautiful cricket shot. They felt confident, and I reckon if you look, and again, I was like most people, just sitting there watching it on the laptop, yelling and screaming. But they looked professional. They looked well drilled. They just went about their gears, and then our best players stood up when the moment came.
Yeah, good work by Vikramjit Singh. On the ropes, 50 partnership coming in good time. Rizwan has been watchful. Babar very fluent. Whether you believe what you read in the media and on social media of people in Pakistan questioning maybe Mohammad Rizwan, batting at number 4 in international cricket, averaging 28. Test record on T20 record exceptional. So you feel this is an opportunity for the keeper to bat. I'm not saying you go through the motion, but just try and bat for an hour and a half and be there at the end, 60, 70 not out, and put a few people quiet in the media.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. I actually I look at him, Mohammad Rizwan, and think, whoa, what a player. You know, Test cricket, like you say, T20 had an amazing World Cup as well. But then, yeah, when you throw those numbers out for a number 4 batter, you probably go, gee, that's not quite what I expected, but again, wonderful play, and I've no doubt, you know, as a keeper and for one of their leaders of the team, if he bats at 4, he bats at 5 or 6, you just shuffle the deck, really.
Well, the top 3 of Pakistan have scored 66% of their runs since the last World Cup, so obviously clearly wide. So dominated by Imam, Bakar, and obviously captain himself, Babar. So it could be not getting a great opportunity as well, batting not ideal times, but the numbers are a little strange. You'll always get that with Mohammed. You'll always get a half a chance of running because he's capping the hot tin roof.
Yeah, a little run out would be handy here just to break this partnership. Like I say, we started, bowling very nicely. Viv Kingmark picked up those couple of wickets, but you always get the feeling that Pakistan sit in the dressing room pretty calm when these two are in. But if you just get one, you know, one of those little spitting cobras to brush the glove or something like that, and then the game changes again.
Good over for Baz the Leader, just 4 from it, 64 for 2.
तमाम बैंक इस्लामी कस्टमर्स हासिल करें फ्री चेकबुक, पे ऑर्डर्स, ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग और इंटरबैंक फंड्स ट्रांसफर की सहूलत। बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे।
सर्विस टायर्स की क्वालिटी पूरी दुनिया ने मानी। 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक में एक्सपोर्ट होने वाला पाकिस्तान नंबर 1 एक्सपोर्ट टायर ब्रांड है सर्विस।
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले, बन जाए एक डिलिशियस बॉन्ड। Biscotti chocolate chip cookie. More chips in every bite. Biscotti chocolate chip. It's special inside.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इंप्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और
Probably got found out with a bit of pace. You know, if you have a look at the footwork of some of the guys, not quite getting forward, which to me always is a bit of a sign that you probably got beaten for a bit of pace. But then it's almost like the game changed. two guys got in and put on 100 and whatever, it was quite weird. They made batting look easy. Then you lost the wicket, but then straight away, boom, boom, boom. And that's something that we've tried to avoid, all year, losing wickets in clumps. And I guess it was disappointing. But again, you watch a Buster Later bat and you think, gee, is he batting on the same strip as everyone else?
Well, it's interesting. We spoke. You can excuse or understand almost if you're done for pace, 90 mile an hour plus, because you're not used to it. And that sometimes you can accept that to a certain degree, or some ball's brilliant wrist spin against you because you don't see it that often. I suppose my question to you and your setup is, when you have left arm finger spinner, Mohammad Nawazi's
ask, I guess, because you feel I want to sweep, but I can't because I don't know if it's going to spin or not. And I guess then you start to put yourself in a bit of a doubt. And I thought he bowled really nicely. He's a handy sort of guy, very repeatable action.
Oh, yes.
And it did enough for him. That's the thing. It did enough that, if you didn't have the right intent at the right time, and that's the thing on one of these wickets, and it's one of the points we probably made all year, is that, yes, we're playing great teams, but they are human.
Lovely.
And if they make a mistake, you have to cash in and hit them for a boundary. And on the other side of the coin, if we made a mistake, you get hit for a boundary.
Well, 66 for 2. Tell us a little bit about Baz the Later. This was a really nice half-century today.
Oh, well, look, we all know that he's from Dutch cricket royalty. The old man was a pretty handy player and holds all the records in top class or in international cricket for the Dutch. But, Bas has been one of those guys that's, his potential from the outset was so good that we probably...
बोनस तो मिल गया और टायर घिस गए सर्विस टायर्स लगवाओ ये चलते हैं आम टायर के मुकाबले में 40% तक ज्यादा ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है
hard, probably harder than anyone else. He's had two stress fractures in his back, which held his bowling back for quite some time, and we had to be really patient with that. But look, to see what he's doing now as a batsman, I kind of think of Harry Tector for Ireland, where he's at with his batting. He was sort of someone that everyone spoke about, but just recently I watch him bat and you go, we always thought, geez, he's good. But now you go, well, score after score after score, and that's, I guess, the consistency we're hoping for.
Opportunity. That's what it's all about. Give these guys opportunity to perform. Cream generally rises to the top. And you mentioned cricketing royalty. Cousin Babette will captain the Netherlands. The Dutch, the women's side, they play Ireland starting on Monday, I'm led to believe. So, game's coming thick and fast for the Delators. Yeah, his old man was a good cricketer. Really good cricketer. Competitor.
Yeah, loved the fight, old Timmy. Like, he did get into the trenches,
He'd fight with himself, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I wouldn't take him on. He's a pretty big boy. So, but yeah, it's a great upbringing. There's a couple more young Delators in the wings too that are just starting to come through the system.
Well, they're not hard to miss because they're walking around the ground with the most beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah, I think if you ask someone what's a Dutch person look like and you presented a Delator, everyone would go, yeah, that's probably right.
Good on Baz. This is good to see. He'll have a good time in the UAE in the off-season. ILT20, he'll play for My Dubai. Brilliant work, backward point.
And again, that's going to be a learning curve. That's the stuff that we can't, like I said before, you can't buy it off the shelf. So if he's in that team and he's sitting alongside the cricket royalty, basically, and learning how they go about their work, and that is going to make him, again, an even better cricketer. Yeah,
Mahela Jayawardene will be in charge of that side. Won't be the head coach. Shane Bond will be the head coach of that side. Parthiv Patel is going to be working with them. So some good people to learn from. I think it's Shane Bond. What a name.
Yeah, so that's my sort of vintage. Shane Bond, we had some great battles. But again, when you talk about coaches around the world, heard nothing but good stuff about Shane Bond as a bowling coach, as a head coach. So you feel confident when some of your boys go to those sort of people and you go, you know what, he's definitely coming back a better. Jayawardene, as you know, is an absolute genius. So those weeks that he'll spend there, it's hopefully going to help him become the international star that we hope for.
And it's all fairly routine at the moment for Pakistan in the chase. 16 done, 68 for 2.
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इम्प्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के. बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे.
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले, बन जाए एक डिलीशियस बॉन्ड. Biscotti chocolate.
Pringle with his left arm orthodox. Needs to step up here. Netherlands going to need Pringle.
Lovely Tage.
Yeah, he's carrying himself a very sore big toe at the moment. I think he showed a couple of replays. He got hit hard, which I don't think he can feel his legs at the moment with all the pills we had to give him. But look, he's gutsing it out, and tremendous courage even to be out there.
Like it, Pring.
Well, this is my friend I met at the mid-innings break. Rafe, he said to me, the lady in Karachi, you know who you are, and she'll be watching on TV.
Oh, yeah, sensational, Pring.
Had a good chat with this man. Meant to be at work today, but said, no, I'm going to get myself on TV. And he wants to make this lady in Karachi know. He wants to come on TV.
That's a gutsy play. Gutsy.
You just hope it goes right.
Yeah. So, hope she's watching.
There, come up. Now, come up. Bring him up. He's not going to hit it.
Good crowd in again. Should be even bigger at the weekend.
Oh, sensational.
Yeah,
sensational.
Look, all summer, like we say, the Barmy Army were fantastic when they were here. The 7,000 had a great time at Amsterdam over the 3 days. It's, I remember actually mentioning to the organisers, I hope you bought enough beer because the Barmy Army are coming and they're going to come strong. So 73 for 2 after 17.
जी सर, सर्विस टायर्स चाहिए. ये ले लें, आपके पैसे बचेंगे.
जिंदगी बचाना ज्यादा जरूरी है. सर्विस कहाँ है? सर्विस ही दो. ग्रिप सर्विस जैसी तो फिक्र कैसी.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इम्प्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के. बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे.
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इम्प्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के. बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे.
इरादा फौलाद जैसा और जज्बा चट्टान जैसा. हम कदर करते हैं तेरे इस जुनून की. Proudly made in Pakistan. Squad Performance Body Spray. तो फिर देर किस बात की? Join the squad.
पेप्सी काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है ना? या
नहीं पेप्सी, अब और भी ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान.
बैंक इस्लामी वन टच बैंकिंग से करें ट्रांजैक्शंस अपने थंब इम्प्रेशन से, वो भी बिना एटीएम कार्ड और चेकबुक के. बैंक इस्लामी, सर्विंग यू द राइट वे.
क्या स्टाइल है बॉस, मगर ग्रिप टोटल लॉस. सर्विस टायर्स लगवाओ और रोड ग्रिप के साथ स्टाइल दिखाओ.
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले, बन जाए एक डिलीशियस बॉन्ड. Biscotti chocolate chip cookies. More chips in every bite. Biscotti chocolate. It's special inside.
सर्विस टायर्स की क्वालिटी पूरी दुनिया ने मानी. 40 से ज्यादा ममालिक में एक्सपोर्ट होने वाला पाकिस्तान नंबर 1 एक्सपोर्ट टायर ब्रांड है सर्विस.
फासला रखें वरना जाया हो जाएगा. दिल तो चाह रहा है इसको घुमा घुमा के तू टेंशन ना ले, हवा आने दे, गर्मी भगा, ठंड रख, स्प्राइट।
जब ढेर सारे चॉकलेट चिप्स क्रंची कुकीज में मिले, बन जाए एक डिलिशियस बॉन्ड। बिस्कॉनी चॉकलेट चिप कुकीज, मोर चिप्स इन एवरी बाइट।
जी सर, सर्विस टायर्स चाहिए, ये ले लें, आपके पैसे बचेंगे।
जिंदगी बचाना ज्यादा जरूरी है। सर्विस कहाँ है? सर्विस ही दो। ग्रिप सर्विस।
the gate. And Scott Edwards couldn't glove it properly.
Yeah, good angle. Ariantat around the wicket. Rizwan trying to go too square. Not an easy one, but Scott Edwards is a good keeper. He got a good visual on it. He'll be disappointed. That should have been another one for the Dutch. It's a bad miss. Just looking, Scott Edwards, I reckon his position where he's standing is exactly where he would stand if the bowler was bowling over the wicket. His position where he's keeping now, and I'm talking about his feet and his head, is right in the position where if he was bowling over the wicket, other side, that's where he'd be standing. I think he could have gone a little bit wider. I think he just misses the ball for a fraction of a second. He misses the trajectory, he misses the line of the ball.